Today I want to talk about this. This is my wireless DIY monitor setup. It's powered by one NPF battery. I can carry this around all day and it cost me less than $100 to build. So let's get into it. In this video, we're gonna go over all the parts I used to set this up. I'll show you exactly how to put them together. No tools needed. Here we go, let's talk about it. This video is broken into several sections, so if you're short on time, be sure to check the timestamps below and you can find what you need. So I noticed when I was shooting my YouTube videos that I never really was able to see what my camera was seeing. So I was constantly running between myself and the camera. So right now, I can see the tiny little screen over there, but if something's, in the background and I can't see it, I don't have a way of telling. If my exposure was off or there was something in the background, I'd know in post. As a one-man band, when I'm on a job, I need to be able to see in real time what's in my frame when I'm setting up a shot. Time is money when you're on set, and I just can't afford to be running back between the camera and my subject to check something. And especially when I'm doing interview shoots, I want to be as present as possible with the person I'm interviewing. And if I'm distracted looking to the side all the time, then I'm just not in that place with the person present. If I'm sitting with a subject and I'm interviewing, my camera is over there and the camera dies, I have no idea. If this dies, I'll see it instantly because I have a essentially big lamp staring at me, and that will allow me to check either if it's, the camera or just the monitor feed. The issue is, okay, so you're gonna shell out about $400 on something like a Mars 4K by Hollyland or Soon, whatever. Like, there are a bunch of products, but they cost a lot of money. So just to clarify, when I say it's a lot of money, it's a lot of money when you're starting out and you're not a professional first AC, or you don't do focus pulling as part of your profession. So I needed a solution and I wasn't gonna spend $400 on that solution. And I figured, wait, my camera sends an HDMI signal, my monitor takes an HDMI signal. Surely somebody else must have thought of the need to connect HDMI connections wirelessly. So lo and behold, I went on Amazon and I found this transmitter receiver pair for like $70. And essentially we have that, an NPF battery that's powering both the monitor and the receiver. And the same thing goes on the camera essentially. This saves me an enormous amount of time and hassle. I can sit where I am, I can adjust my light on my phone, move things around, and I can see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And as much as this does work, there's a bit of a delay. And that's fine for me because I'm using this in situations like this where I'm doing talking head in front of a camera or I'm interviewing someone and I just need to be able to see what the camera's seeing while I'm talking to the interviewee. Number two is that focus peaking actually doesn't carry through, at least with this transmitter specifically, it doesn't carry through to the monitor. If you're pulling focus, it's not the perfect solution or it's not even a workable solution. But let's show you exactly how to put this thing together. I put all the products in the description. That said, they're not sponsored, but I'm gonna show you how I put this together and where you can get the parts. Okay, so full disclosure, the part that's under $100 here is actually the wireless transmission system itself and the cables for it. You do need the monitor. You are going to need an NPF battery, but you can get cheap ones on AliExpress. So let's go through exactly how to put this together and let's just build this little beast. Now to get the signal from the camera to the monitor, we're gonna need a few things. We're gonna need to connect the HDMI from the camera to the transmitter and the HDMI from the receiver to the monitor. Now to start things off, my A6700 has a micro HDMI to HDMI cable out. That needs to connect to the HDMI male that's on the transmitter. Now because those are both male, we're gonna need a female to female HDMI adapter. To attach this to camera, you could take something like this little cold shoe extender thingy that I have here taped to the HDMI adapter and attach it to anything with a cold shoe adapter like I've done with this Neatsy top handle here that I love. Now in the case of the monitor, I just have this angle adapter because that way the receiver isn't sticking out like this. So to power this whole setup, we're gonna need USB-C power delivery to the transmitter and to the receiver. to hit two birds in one stone, what I did with the monitor is I have an NPF battery that is powering the monitor itself, and it is actually also powering the receiver. I bought this really nifty little angled USB-A to angled USB-C adapter right here. The transmitter that's on the camera is actually just being powered by the NPF plate that's powering the camera anyway. So that's just very easy. Do pay attention that some batteries will not power the monitor and this at the same time. I've had problems with some cheap NPF batteries that just won't do that. This is also a cheap NPF battery by Probe-T or whatever. It does it. I'm sure if you go with small rig batteries, they'll do perfectly well. Now, as to the handle of this thing, I actually have a little NATO rail attachment here from Small Rig's focus pulling unit thing. I don't use it, so I just figured, why don't I just hook this onto my little monitor mount, which actually also is from Small Rig. This just works as a handle now. I can even turn this around, and now you see how that little 15 mil rod thing there, I can actually attach this with some kind of 15 mil rod clamp, and now I have a monitor that I can take straight off my camera and just attach it to anything I want. So this thing really is the king of cheap, and it saves me a ton of time not having to run back and forth between the camera, not having to worry about my subject as out of focus when I'm interviewing them, or the camera shutting off when I'm interviewing someone. It's just this insanely powerful setup that also will let me run 2 camera interviews and have 2 monitors essentially on the same tripod at least, so I don't have to be going over there when I'm sitting here monitoring my A-cam. If you're planning on pulling focus, this is not on your list of options, unfortunately. This is your job, or this is a passion, this is something you really want to do, and you need wireless video, absolutely go for something like the Hollyland Mars 4K. So actually, since shooting this, I've done some research, and you do want to make sure that what you're getting is right for you. If you're doing this professionally, focus pulling, you're a first AC or whatever, you might want to get something even higher end than the Mars 4K, because it does have a little bit of a latency and perhaps more than you'd like. But really do your own research and make sure you get the right thing for what you need, not for what someone on YouTube says you should need. This is a quick and dirty solution for people with a small budget and where the delay is not a problem. And that's pretty much it. If you want to rig one of these bad boys out for yourself, I've linked all the products in the description. It's not a sponsored video. Unfortunately, I wish it was. This is the sushi. I'm sorry, it's been great, it's been lovely, I love you. As much as I love you guys and as much as I love this guy more.